Cheryl Brady has gone where no woman has gone before. In 2010, she was the featured closing speaker at T.D. Jakes' annual Manpower Conference. Not long after that, Bishop Jakes appointed Cheryl as the pastor of the Potter's House in North Dallas. Cheryl tells how she went from a shy and quiet person to an international speaker in her new book, You Have It In You.
Cheryl Brady is with us now. Welcome. It's great to have you here.
It's so good to be here.
How did you go from being so incredibly shy to now being a speaker teacher?
Well, it's what they call a miracle. But, you know, I think it's just over the years I've watched God progressively reach into my life and pull out things all along the way that I had no idea was there.
T.D. Jakes was your mentor. He's an amazing, powerful speaker. How did that relationship come about?
You know, I walked into a church in Cleveland, Ohio one night, and he was the speaker. And I was just trying to be cool and calm and collective, you know. And by the time he got finished, I literally found myself in the floor. It was one of those moments, it was an epiphany, really. It was one of those times where I believe God periodically will pull back the curtains of your life and give you a glimpse of what's on the other side. And as I watched him preach, something in me was going, I can do this. I can do this. I mean, is that crazy or what?
That's crazy.
Especially with Bishop T.D. Jakes. And the other voice was saying, don't even try it. You're going to make a fool of yourself. But in that moment, I didn't know what it was all about, but I knew destiny had hit me, punched me in the gut. Yeah.
So talk a little bit about the challenges you had to overcome as God opened doors of opportunity for you to move into the spotlight. I mean, here you are, someone who's not done this before. What were some of the challenges?
Well, many challenges. I had to get over my own timidity and shyness and just what old folks would call backwardness, because that's how I was. But I watched God, and I watched him sit on my life. You know, the Bible said that he sat on the earth, and I believe the Bible said he brooded over the earth. In other words, he brought things up out of the earth that no one knew was there. As he brooded, fish began to swim, and birds began to fly. And so I would go to God, and I'd say, Lord, if you sat on the earth because there was something in it, sit on my earth and bring out of me what you have in me. And I watched him little by little wake up the gifts, you know, with a father like Bishop Jakes.
You know, he does that often in the Word, and you mentioned that in several stories that you talk about in your book from the Word, where God chooses someone who didn't see themselves as qualified for something, and then God qualifies them. But there are overwhelming fears involved in that. How do we overcome fears? They can hold us back so badly.
And we were talking about this backstage. I believe that you have to trust him. You know, we say we trust him, we sing about trusting him, but at the end of the day, it's going to take that trust in him. And the voices of good mentors and people in your life that love you enough to be honest, to say, Cheryl, this ain't right for you. You know, I say I'm too old to go after stuff that don't have my name on it. I need to save my energy and my strength, you know, and having good voices in your life is always a blessing.
You say that most of us don't know what God created us for. How do we find that?
You know, I believe, take me, for instance. I was a high school dropout. I was 15 years old when I left school, just because of certain circumstances in life. And I look back over my life now, and I see it in hindsight. I find out that when I'm 30, I realize there's a preaching gift in me. I had no idea that was there. In my 40s, God began to wake up the pastor that was in me. And in my 50s, now I'm finding out that there's an author in me. You know, because I believe destiny is time released. And when you're faithful over a few things, he makes you ruler over many.
And he gets you there on time.
He does. He said to me one time, he said, Cheryl, I'm the man in your life. I said, yes, God, you're the man. He said, I don't think you get it. He said, I'm the man, and I will get every door for you.
Wow.
And that's what he's done.
One of the things that you've done is to hear the still small voice that God says he speaks to us in. How do we train ourselves to hear God's voice, Cheryl?
Sometimes, you know, you have to turn down the volume of life.
Yes.
Because life will be so loud. and also just the voices of the multitude. And he holds our destiny. He knows what he put in me before the foundation of the world. Things that I didn't see coming, he knew was there. So I have to be in that position. The songwriter used to say, he walks with me. And he talks with me.
Oh, I used to sing that song with my grandma.
Tells me I am his own. And it's that relationship. That It all boils down to having a real relationship with Jesus Christ.
You know, God wants to challenge all of us to be and to do for him in our lives, to have the kind of walk you're talking about, to have the kind of walk you write about in your book. You have it in you. You want to know about this. It's how to do the impossible, because God wants to do that through you. This is available wherever books are sold. And here's something else for you. We have a web exclusive interview that was done with Cheryl. We want you to watch that. All you have to do is log on to cbn.com, click on the In the Green Room link, and then go ahead and get a hold of her book as well. You have it in you. What a great story you have to tell. Quite amazing. Thank you for being with us. It's an encouragement to all of us to be more than we can be, because he's more than we need.
Yeah.